Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Life on the Wrist. Hope you guys are doing well today. Well, there's a lot going on in terms of space. There's a lot of news about fairly wealthy business owners who are taking trips into space or taking the chance to really go into place where not the average human being is going to be able to go to. Most recently, Jeff Bezos was able to launch one of his Blue Origin flights that took him into space. Another notable one is Richard Branson, who actually went a little bit earlier. Obviously, watches are going to be involved when it comes to space travel, as there is a big relationship between space travel and watches. And so, one of the things I saw immediately when I saw Jeff Bezos's flight into space was the watch that he was wearing on his wrist. I'm super excited to sort of talk through this watch and also the way in which he wore it. There's a lot of controversy for some reason on watch Instagram about this move by Jeff Bezos, and so I thought I would kind of give you my thoughts and talk through what actually went down. Yeah, let's get straight into it. So like I said, Jeff Bezos was the most recent wealthy business owner to take a trip into space. Obviously, he has his company Blue Origin, and he launched Blue Origin's mission, which is NS-16, that went into space on July 20th. NS is short for New Shepard, which is one of the vehicles that he created, which has a fairly interesting design if you compare to many of the other spacecrafts that have launched. What was really cool about this as well is that this Blue Origin spacecraft was actually fully autonomous, so it didn't actually require anyone to pilot it, which is very, very different than a lot of other spacecrafts that have been produced. I'll say this already: I'm not the most well-versed aeronautical engineer, so this is really just about things that I've read. So please give me a break on that. So it launched at 9:15 a.m. and like I said, was fully autonomous. Jeff Bezos went. He also had his brother who went with him. There was a NASA astronaut that went, Wally Funk, and then an 18-year-old passenger, Oliver Daemen. And so these four individuals were basically the crew of this fully autonomous spacecraft that Blue Origin launched for the N-16 mission. One of the things that a lot of people, and is kind of controversial, is you have this thing called, okay, we went to space. The Blue Origin mission actually only went to the Kármán line, which is really where Earth's atmosphere and space come together. So he actually didn't travel out into space, but was right on the line between Earth's atmosphere and space. So he essentially, I believe, got into some sort of orbit at this time. I know a lot of people are making fun of this, but Richard Branson, who launched previously, he was 86 kilometers lower than Jeff Bezos. It kind of reminds me of where fairly rich people, one person buys, a 50-foot boat, and then another person buys a 60-foot boat, and it's always about trying to one-up someone. I don't know if that was the intention here. Maybe subconsciously it was, but regardless, it was still an amazing feat for both these individuals to get to this place. So they went up to the Kármán line and were able to kind of basically just chill in space, which is really, really cool. And so when I saw pictures of this, of course, the first thing that I saw, which is what I look at it way too much, is the wrist of the people who are involved in this. And it was pretty clear that Jeff Bezos decided that he was going to wear an Omega Speedmaster. He actually wore the Speedmaster over the top of his spacesuit. I guess the outfit that he was wearing wasn't actually a true spacesuit, but he did wear on a larger strap on his wrist, and it was an Omega Speedmaster. The watch itself, there's a long reference, I'm not going to put it up, but it's like the true Speedy with the Hesalite crystal, and had the new Meta certified 3861 movement. These watches were actually donated by Omega for this mission, and they were specially customized for this mission. So a couple of things that kind of made them stand out: they were engraved with the wearer's name, so 4 watches, each of the I guess we can call them astronauts at this point. Each of the astronauts' name were on the case back of the watch. The flight number was also on the case back of the watch, and then there was an insignia for Blue Origin that was also on the case back of the watch. What was also really cool is it came on a Velcro a longer Velcro strap that was kind of gray in color and had the Omega logo on top of it. This is a tradition that has gone on for a very long time. The Omega Speedmaster was obviously one of the first watches to go into space and assisted in a lot of missions that NASA did back in the 60s. And so it's an integral part of really space travel in general. And so when you look at Jeff Bezos's wrist as he went into the spacecraft, when he came off of the spacecraft, it was fairly evident that everyone was wearing an Omega Speedmaster. I'm going to move on to kind of my thoughts on this, or actually, you know what? I'm going to talk about Instagram first. So Instagram absolutely went berserk. A lot of people said, why is he wearing an Omega Speedmaster? He didn't actually go into space. It's useless to wear it when you think about what his mission was, which was basically to go up to space, enjoy it for a little bit, and then come back down. And so there's a lot of pushback on why he was doing this. But there were some other people who had other thoughts. I wanted to go over a couple things. So the first thought is when people say like this was a useless watch to wear to going into space because you actually didn't even make it into space. Sure, but you could say that about everything. If you wear a dive watch, why aren't you diving? It's useless for you to wear it. And that's if you say that, then you basically have to go up to every Rolex Submariner owner in the entire world and tell them that they're wasting their time by wearing this watch, and it's not really the case. So I really don't understand that argument. The second thing is there was a lot of talk about why he wore it on the outside of his spacesuit when it really wasn't a spacesuit, and he didn't go out into space. Who really cares? He wanted to wear it that way. He wanted to pay homage to the original Speedmaster that was used in space flight. Might as well have some sort of fun with your trip, you know? So that's another thing that I thought was kind of interesting. A lot of people kind of push back on the fact that why did Omega donate these when Jeff Bezos could very easily have bought them? Sure, I think there's been a lot of talk about how Jeff Bezos is, I think when he was in space, he thanked all the Amazon employees for getting him there. I think it's, wealth inequality is a completely different discussion, and I sort of want to distance from life on the wrist with that whole kind of topic, but it is something that can be noted, and I think people were sort of upset about that. I'll leave that kind of to the side. I think it's a great move by Omega to say, let's be part of this mission, let's donate these watches and customize them for them, so that we can really be part of this really incredible space flight for someone who really has created, something incredible. Amazon just in general, just thinking about Amazon is an incredible company, and it's a difficult thing to do. So that's kind of my thoughts on there. My thoughts just in general on the flight, I thought it was really cool. The launch was quite interesting. It's a different looking spacecraft, and you got to see the re-entry, which was also really cool. And when it actually touched down on the ground, it felt very, very soft compared to a lot of the other ones. So pretty cool. I think the design was quite nice. Obviously, they were in the top of the spacecraft, so the capsule was very easy to, detach and land. I believe it's supposed to be reusable. I could be wrong there. If you're an aerospace engineer, let me know in the comments. I might be wrong there. But I thought it was pretty cool. I love the Speedmaster. I like its connection with space, and I think it's a cool thing for Bezos and his team, Jeff Bezos and his team to do, to pay homage to something that's very important, and also just to continue the story of the Speedmaster. Space travel isn't something that is always on the forefront of people's minds. It was obviously big when it first happened, but now it's sort of, I don't want to say it has diminishing returns, but the technology has to advance, I think, rapidly for us to really make any sort of headway. Not headway, there's obviously a ton of stuff that's going on, but I'd say it isn't as big as it was back in the day, and it's really nice that he's sort of continuing this. Whatever your thoughts are on wealth inequality and these extremely wealthy individuals who are going into space, whatever your thoughts are towards them, you have to respect the fact that watches are a part of space history, and that Bezos was basically continuing that. And I also think Omega was just saying, let's continue to be part of the story with these people. So quite a cool little watch spotting over the last week or so. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think about Jeff Bezos wearing the Omega Speedmaster. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Do you think it was a good idea? Do you think it was a bad idea? Let me know in the comment section below what you think. For this video, as we do with every single video we make on YouTube, there's a corresponding article on our website in the editorial section that you can read more about this event that happened. So you should head over to lifeonthewrist.com and go to the editorial section, and you can read our article for this video. If you are not subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit this subscribe button if you like these types of videos. We cover a range of topics when it comes to watches, so if you like those types of videos, be sure to subscribe and turn the notification bell on so that you're notified when we upload. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that like button for our YouTube analytics, it really does help us out. And with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and until next time.